If you are getting divorced and one or both of the parties earns above the child support guidelines in Alabama, then what we call the Rule 32 guidelines don't apply. And so it takes some extra information gathering and sometimes some creative solutions to figure out what child support should be. You're going to need to look at what the income of the biggest earning party is, and how far above the guidelines the combined incomes are. But you're also going to want to look at what are the reasonable needs of the children and who are they going to be living with and how are they going to provide for that person. So, for instance, if somebody has 3 children and they have typically sent them to private school and they typically take ski trips every Mardi Gras and do all of those things, those are not going to necessarily be court-ordered expenses, but they are part of what was a standard of living for that family. So those things may or may not be considered by the court. What will always be considered is basic living expenses, clothing, food, transportation, and those sorts of things. It's just that it's a lot harder to predict what that child support number is going to be if you have an income that exceeds the guidelines. So we will run through multiple scenarios and figure out the closest number that you can expect from a judge. And usually, if you can reasonably justify it and the other person can pay it, a judge is going to consider the number you give them for child support.